Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Avonlea Chronicles and Knitting Podcast. My name is Martha and I'm here to talk about all things knitting and crafting. So last time I filmed my podcast, there was no power. It was the middle of an ice storm that was so bad, but we made it through and I finished the cross stitch, got it sent off to get framed, and I have it, so that will be one of the things that I show today. But it was a wild week. So last time I podcasted, it was Sunday afternoon, there was no church. Then schools were closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday my school was supposed to be open, but just after 7 in the morning the power went out. And so the school board quickly made the decision to close the school. So 4 days off. We went back for Friday and then we were there all last week. So it was a little wild. Spring has now finally arrived. And hopefully we won't have any more snow days or school closures because it's been a little crazy. So let's get into all the things I've been doing. There hasn't been a lot, but I've got some projects on the go. So the first thing is I made this little heart key ring. It's just stockinette stitch. But my seaming job did not go too well. It's a little wonky. I don't know. I was knitting these two hearts and the math wasn't mathing, so I didn't have the right stitch counts, and then seaming it I should have done a better job, but I think it's too big for what I want it for. So I made this cute little bag charm for my bag, and like bag charms are really trendy right now, so look up bag charms. I put a butterfly, the Eiffel Tower, a bee, and a cute little rainbow. But like the thing to add to bag charms are like plushies. So I want to add something knit to mine. I don't want like a little stuffed animal in my bag. I'd rather have something knit. And I thought the rainbow goes really well with the butterfly. This is resin and it's colored and it has flecks of gold in it from Italy. So I was gonna put the heart on, but I think the heart is too big. So I think I still have enough left. I think I'm going to make a smaller one, maybe in garter stitch. Like I think there are some other patterns for hearts, and I'll just make 2 garter stitch hearts and seam them together. But I think this is too big. I think it's overpowering my, dainty little charm, and I want something smaller. So I've got this one. But I think it's too big for what I want. So I'm gonna make another one smaller to add to my bag charm. So that was the vision with that little project. This was super quick, by the way, and the pattern says to sew the heart onto your key ring. I made an I-cord so that I can be in control of the key ring. So yeah, I'm going to, I think, find another pattern for a heart that's smaller and make another one. But, and sometimes like my seaming job, because something did not work out math-wise on the first heart that made it difficult to sew the 2 pieces together because they weren't the same size. So that's the first project. The second one is, it's one that I'm about to start. My brother's friend's been asking me if I can knit golf club covers. So I said, yeah, let me find a pattern. So I just found this one on Ravelry. It was free. It's actually just like on somebody's website or their blog. So I'm just going to go, I think my brother wants some too. So we're gonna go to Walmart. We're gonna pick out some acrylic. Honestly, if they bought me the yarn, I'll knit it for them. I don't normally do that, but they're good guys. So if they buy the yarn, I'll knit them. And they seem pretty easy. Like, you can just knit in the round ribbing and then you increase. It's gonna be super easy. I'll knit a few up for them, but that's like the next little project. I think it'll be fun actually, because it's kind of a unique project. So that's what oh, and they want pom-poms. I have to make pom-poms to put on the top. So that's one of my next projects. Okay. My toy knitting adventure is going quite well. I will show the bunny I've completed at the in a moment, but this, I love the look of this bunny. So I bought this pattern. It's quite thick, but it has instructions for knitting in the round or knitting flat. So you can choose. If double pointed needles are your enemy, you could knit it flat. So I bought this beautiful like cream color. Oh, it's called Parchment. Bernat Premium. It's like $5 at Walmart to knit this bunny. I think it's going to be so adorable. These projects are kind of fun. Like, I wouldn't normally knit a toy, but they're kind of fun to make. Now that I've knit 2 snowmen and 2 bunnies, this will be my 3rd. So yeah. Okay, on to the bunnies that I've been working on. The drops pattern. I have 1 completed bunny. This is the size of the bunny, knit in 3mm needles with worsted weight. It didn't turn out too bad. Like, this is the size of my hand. It's not like, I don't know, kids are really into like little stuffies right now. They're bringing them to school all the time. So I thought 2 little bunnies might not be that bad. They are much smaller than the snowmen, but it turned out kind of good. Originally, on the pattern, you can see there's a pair of bloomers. So when you knit the legs, you stop at a certain point, switch to the cream color, increase a bit so it bubbles. And then when you knit the body, because you knit the body top down, partway through you stop, change to the cream color, so that when you add the legs, it's already got like shorts or bloomers on. And then you just crochet that little frilly bit that would be like the lace on the end of bloomers. And then you just knit the striped top, if you can see. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm making it simple. So, because I didn't want to put the bloomers on, and then if I decided not to knit clothing, then it would just be in its underwear. Didn't want that. So all I did was I ignored the color change and I just added the length. So I ignored the color change and the increases. So where on the leg it said to switch colors, increase, and then keep knitting, I ignored that and just knit the length of the bloomers. And then for the body, I ignored the color change and just knit in gray. So I have 1 little bunny. Sewing on the legs and the arms, the head and the ears weren't too bad. The head, now people complain about drops patterns, and now I am too. Their instructions for the head are so poor. In one section, you do stitch markers, and it doesn't clearly state how you're to use those stitch markers and stitch increases. Really what they wanted was 2 stitch markers, and then you increase either before the stitch marker or just after the stitch marker. So you're increasing just after the stitch marker, like slip the marker, increase, knit across to next marker, increase, slip marker. So you're making a V and you're just increasing in that section. It took me a lot of figuring out to even get there. I had to look on the website. I was looking through, I've got like fluff, looking through comments. Finally, I found a comment and somebody was like, I don't understand how to do the head. And then they were like, you increase in between the stitch markers. And I'm like, well, why doesn't the pattern say that? Because that's not how the pattern is written. So, you know, after half an hour of figuring that out, it was time to go to bed. So once I got that section figured out, it was okay. My brother just walked by. He noticed me podcasting. But other than that, it was great. Then, like, once I figured that out, the head whipped up quickly. I was able to, you start here and then you do the increases to make the shape of the head. You decrease. So there's the nice, like, decrease, just like the crown of a hat at the back. I embroidered on the eyes and the mouth, sewed on the ears and the head. I sort of went around the head twice, so it wasn't like super floppy. I was a little bit scared it was going to look like it had been decapitated and sewn back on, like my snowman. And thankfully the snowman had a scarf to cover his neck. But actually, my seaming of the extremities worked out quite well. So this is the one in 3 millimeters. And I'm just going to finish today the one in 4 millimeters. So these are the legs. They're bigger. I've got the ears and the arms. And then I'm just working on the body. I just have the decreases left to go. Then I will, once I have the body done, I will stuff it and sew on the arms and the legs. And then I'll do the head, put the embroidery on and the ears on, and then stitch it together. So I'm going to finish the other one today because tomorrow they're arriving to class in this beautiful bucket pail that I found at the dollar store. I really liked it because the eggs kind of remind me of the Pasanki Ukrainian eggs. That's why I have one for myself up there. But the bunnies are bringing stickers for their agendas. So far I got one little notepad that I might use to write back. But we also might print and cut out some like bunny and egg shaped lined paper in different colors for the kids to write. So that's what's gonna happen. And these bunnies, I have like names for them, got a little story. They're going to really hope that Miss Wood will make them some clothes for Easter because they really want some new clothes. I just have not had the time for new clothes yet, but I think last time I showed a teal color, and when I had it sitting with the lilac that I got this, actually, I didn't show this last podcast because I got it when I took the cross stitch down to get framed. I wanted lilac, so I got a lilac. It almost matches my wall color. But I had it with teal, and the teal was just too green. So I went for, I found the receipt, went to Walmart last week, and I just said to the lady, I'm like, this color is not what I wanted. When I got another color, they weren't vibing. Can I exchange it? I'm like, haven't used it. And she's like, yep. So I ran and got the blue. And yeah, so one will have a blue top. I think this smaller one, I'm going to make the top not striped. I know in the pattern it's striped, but I'm just going to do one solid color. I'm going to do the top in blue for this guy, and then for the bigger one I'm going to do it in purple, but I'm going to make it longer and it will be a dress. And I'm going to knit the little bow, like there's a little bow tie. I'm going to knit that, but put it in between the ears for the purple one. So it'll be a little girl and a little boy. I think I've sorted out some names and stuff, but I will bring them home and show next time I podcast. So that's what I've been working on and have to finish today. I just have to power through. I powered through the body last night, most of it. The decreases won't take long. And then the head, now that I know how to do the head will whip up pretty quickly. And really, that is all. Sorry, I gotta put it all on the floor. And really, that's all that I've been working on. Because it's just been a crazy few weeks. And yeah, now I'm gonna be knitting some golf club covers. So I'm just kind of working on a bunch of little projects. I don't have anything big right now. I have my scarf still that I'm working on for my Four Seasons collection, and I still have my sweater that I haven't touched. But yeah, I'm just kind of chipping away at all these little projects. And I think the last thing is the cross stitch. So I have my bag here that I'm going to put it in. I just went and got like a pretty bag. And hopefully it might have to sit sideways, but hopefully it'll fit. So after 259 days on the hoop, in the end, 23 colors and 19,481 stitches. My cross stitch is finished. I took it to Michael's to get framed. It would have been just over $300 to be framed, and I know framing is really expensive, but there was a 55% off sale, and so I had a budget in mind, and it rang in like right at my budget. I will say, like, the lady that I talked to on the phone when I initially called and said, look, I'm just inquiring. I've never had anything professionally framed before, but this is what I have framed. This is roughly the size. This is my budget. What am I looking at? Is it going to be like $100 to $200, or is it going to be $600 to $700? Like, and she said it can be $100. It could be $600. Anything in between. She's like, we will help you. We'll help you pick your mat and your frame, and you know, if something is too much, then we'll swap it out for something to bring it into your budget. So I thought that was great. That was not the person that ended up framing and helping me. This girl was much younger. She did an excellent job, but she was much younger. And so, and also, like, if you're a knitter, quilter, crocheter, any type of fiber artist, you will know that you get really good, or some people are really good. I'm really good at this, is like seeing a pattern and envisioning it in different yarn, different color than what it was made in. I know some people that they buy the pattern, they go and buy the exact wool in the color that they like, but they don't veer too far from the path. I'm really good at being like, oh, this color looks good with that. That looks good with that. Like, that would look really good with that pattern. And I kind of thought it would be like that going to framing, and probably it is for some people. I didn't find my girl was terribly good at being like, this would all work well. Like, she pulled out a few mats. We looked at them. Another store employee walked by and she's like, I think it would look really good with a double mat. And I was like, oh, that looks really good. I'm like, yeah, that's it. And then she just pulled like 1 or 2 frames. This might have actually just been the only frame she pulled. And yeah, then she took a picture of my cross stitch and then scanned the mats and the frame, and she's able to make a mock-up on the computer so you can actually see what it looks like. It's really hard to tell when you've just got like the sample that fits on the corner of your project. So yeah, but I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. There were a couple store employees that walked by as we were figuring out the framing, and they put in their 2 cents worth, but I think it turned out so good. And I just can't wait till tomorrow morning when I can walk into school and give this to my friend, because I've been waiting so long. I've been waiting so long to do this, and I love making like meaningful gifts. So this means a lot to me. So, I will start with, they put the, I'm just covering it up. They put the picture on the back. I'm just covering up the names. And I just typed up the names and the date and the location. And then I hand wrote a note to my friend, sort of like saying happy birthday. I wanted to do something really special and meaningful for your birthday. And so this is what I chose to do. So here it is, all framed. I went for, this employee that walked by suggested a double mat. So a little bit of black, and then we just did a cream colored mat, and then a wood frame, because it's a little more rustic. And oh, it looks so good. I was showing my choir mate this morning, and she's a quilter and knitter, and a cross stitcher, and she's like, a full black mat would have been too much, would have like taken away, but the little bit of black just pulls it in, and pulling the cream from this like watercolor effect of the sky and the reflection in the water really just pulls it together, because I didn't want something too flashy, and I think black and white would not have I think it would have been too much. So here it is, all finished. I am so proud of this, and I'm so pleased with how it turned out. And yes, it's just, I want to just drive over and give it away right now. But I'm actually like really glad that the thing is, I called Friday morning, and they said, I asked if it was ready, and they said, no, you'll get a call. It'll be ready by the 15th. And I was like, okay, and in my head, I'm like, it's a podcast weekend. I really want it to be ready. Like, universe, please make it be ready so I can podcast and show it off. Because I did want to show it off. So then I got a call Friday night in the midst of quite a bunch of turmoil. I got a call saying it's ready. And if I hadn't been in the middle of a wild ride at home here, I would have just been like, I'm coming to get it right now. But I went down yesterday morning, did a little bit of shopping, looking around, and picked it up, and I'm so pleased. So I am now going to take some photos of it and then wrap it back up in the brown paper that they gave me, or that it came wrapped in, and get it ready to gift tomorrow. But I'm very pleased with that. I was a little worried it wasn't going to make it home successfully, because there's quite a few potholes and bumps on the highway, but I made it, and yeah, I'm just so excited to give it away now. I'm sad that I don't have another big project like that to work on, but I've got a bunch of little projects, and I do have a big cross stitch actually. I have a few little cross stitches. Oh, that was what I bought yesterday too. I bought a little cross stitch at the dollar store of some Easter eggs. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go now and photograph my cross stitch and get it ready to take tomorrow. And I have a bunny to finish, so I did make a hot drink before I started filming, so I'm gonna go knit my bunny and photograph my cross stitch, and I will see you back here in 2 weeks with some finished bunnies that probably will have some adventures to tell about being in grade 2. So I'll be back here in 2 weeks, and I hope the springtime weather is treating you well. We can sit outside and knit soon. So that is all for today. Have a happy Easter next weekend. If you celebrate, I will be celebrating. And yeah, I'll be back here in 2 weeks.